I'm Patrick Carney from the Black Keys, and this is my touring drum set for the Dropout Boogie Tour 2022. It's actually the same kit I used during the entire El Camino tour. The story behind the kit is that our old tour manager, Jim Runge, sent me a photograph of an old Salesman, Ludwig Salesman kit. Wanted to know if I wanted to buy this vintage kit, but it was like $5,000, and I didn't have the money. I'm kind of cheap, I guess. And so I sent the photograph to my rep at Ludwig. I was like, can we make one of these? And so they sent me this. I wanted it in 26. They sent me this, and yeah, people really liked it, and they issued it as a signature kit for me. They made like 100 of them, but I have two of the original ones, 26, and I just came back to it. I think because I love it, so that's what I'm using. The snare drum is a Black Beauty, a new one. I have a bunch of these. They all sound good. They're my favorite snare drum. What else? Yeah, so I use Pisces cymbals. So I just, followed the John Bonham recipe, and I mix it up a lot. Like at home, I have a bunch of vintage Pisces cymbals that I use, like Formula 602s, I think they're called. But I kind of just singled out some cymbals that I thought worked well together. So I've got, I guess it's a 24-inch Pisces giant beat ride that I kind of use as a crash ride, and I use the bell on that a lot. And this cowbell has been the same cowbell I've used since about 2008. I only use it on one song. It's the bridge to I Got Mine, but it's been the same cowbell for whatever 15 years. Oh wait, that's a lot longer, isn't it? No, it's 14 years. Okay. And yeah, I got the Pisces 2002 18-inch medium crash, and then the giant beat. I think these are 15-inch actually, 15-inch hi-hats. The front of the kick drum, I make the fronts myself with a Sharpie, and the heads are Remo except for the snare. Matt Romano, my drum tech, has got the kit dialed in really well, really nicely, and he's convinced me to switch to the Evans. It's called an Evans Dry. It has these little holes in it. I don't know. It just sounds like fucking good. And it never goes out of tune, and I can hit it hard as shit. So that's the thing. I use Vic Firth sticks. I have for years. These are 5Bs.
So, and you're using an Aquarian ring on top of the head, right? Just to give it even a little more dry sound.
Yeah, I get rid of, try to get rid of. I mean, a snare drum can be too dry, so there's a fine line. But I don't like the overtones. It doesn't really work in our music. So I do like a lot on like an open tom, but I keep them a little bit drier here because there's just so much shit going on there.
And what's awesome is you're playing pretty big drums and cymbals, right? It's a tight kit, but 15 hats, 24 ride, 26 kick.
Yeah.
So what's the idea behind that? You're hitting
Loud.
hard, or just like the?
I'm a big guy, I guess. I like it. I like to hit hard. I like to get to a point when I'm playing live. It's much different than in the studio. Like I don't hit hard in the studio. I'm much tighter, quieter. But on stage, it's like
You want to feel it.
I want to feel it. Like the nerves and stuff come out through the drums. And I like to get to a place in my head like where I'm not thinking about anything, but I'm not conscious of anything.
It's the zone.
The zone where I'm just not thinking. Caveman territory, and I'm inside the music. And I feel like one way for me to get there is to just feel it. Yes.
And you have a kicker, right?
This is something that my drum tech Matt Romano, who himself is a much better drummer than me, has convinced me to start using, rather than I used to use a stack here, like a monitor stack, because we're talking about feeling the music, wanting to be inside of it. Right. But I just switched to in-ears this year, and this was the missing piece that I never really knew about. Matt convinced me to do that, and that really does it really does seal the deal for the in-ears for me. I don't miss the stack at all, and I feel it feels a lot better actually. I feel like I can play a little bit further behind the beat now. I'm not anticipating. I just hear things clearer. So
it's so tight.
Yeah,
it's big.
Yeah. So I think I feel like I'm playing better than I ever have. So
you sound awesome.
Thanks.
Sounds amazing. The drums sound amazing. The playing sounds amazing. Thank you.
I'm an accidental drummer. I started on guitar, and when I was 15, I got a job. I lied about my age. I got a job as a dishwasher. I said I was 16, and I saved all my money that summer so I could buy. I bought a drum set. I bought a bass guitar. I bought all the stuff that you would need to have a band, right? So the idea being that my friends could ride their bikes to my house. I would play guitar. It just turns out that I was the worst guitar player. So I would get pushed to the bass, and eventually, when I started playing with Dan, he was much better guitar player than me. So I had this drum set. Luckily, I sat down and I kind of could scratch out a beat, sort of. And that's what I play now. It's my main instrument. But I've never practiced. I've never taken a lesson. I was just all self-taught. So
who's your inspiration? Who are you listening to? Because you have a great distinctive style, a great beat, and it's very rock and heavy, but it's got a touch, almost like a little jazz funk touch.
Yeah, well, Drumbo from Captain Beefheart, very big influence. But these are all drummers I could never emulate. So it's just my own broke dick version of whatever. But listening to Bill Ward and watching the performances of Sabbath in the early '70s, were just I'm a fan, so I'm just oh, that would be cool to be able to do something sort of. I could never get there, but it's not it's the cool thing about music. It's not really a competition. It's you can get by with whatever licks you got if you got a friend that's willing to risk doing the same thing. And before you know it, you got a band and you got your own sound. And for me, drums have always been a bit of a challenge, and I'm just not getting to the point where I'm I feel comfortable where I'm at. I don't feel like I'm missing any. I feel like I have my own style a little bit, and but I really appreciate great drumming, and I think that
Bill Ward's Sabbath time, that 70s Sabbath, that was one of the drummers you listened to and you said, this guy's awesome.
Bill Ward, my favorite drummers, Bill Ward, John Bonham, Drumbo, Russell Simmons from the John Spencer Blues Explosion, Jay Belarus, there's a lot of great drummers out there, but I think if there's another 15-year-old kid washing dishes, playing guitar, don't be afraid to sit behind a drum set. You never know what the fuck's gonna happen. And drumming is, I do think, it is. It's you can't have a good band without a good singer. You can't have a good band without a guitar player. But you can't have a good show without a good drummer. I think that's true.